Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple Hair Doofus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are continuing our guide through Wizard and Glass by Stephen King, and we are continuing the story Susan. Okay. Today we are covering chapters 7 and 8. And our section begins with Susan waking up and having a furious argument with her aunt. And her aunt kind of pushing her away. Susan is greeted by the town idiot, who has a bouquet of flowers for her. At first she believes that these flowers are from the idiot himself, and she feels very awkward about trying to explain to him how they will never ever be together. And then she reads the card and finds that it's actually from Roland. And she starts to smile because she likes Roland. And she tells the town idiot to tell no one. The town idiot says, okay, I can't even remember who it was anyways. The note in the bouquet says, I need to see you. I need to discuss things with you. We must meet. And she immediately writes a note that says, I don't think that's a good idea, and sends it back. She is standing over this place known as the Drop, where it's basically an overlook over this area that's supposed to be full of horses. And while she's there, Roland comes by. It's a very romantic scene. And I am just so thrilled. Anyways, she's there. Roland and her are talking. And it turns out that he just wants to talk about counting horses. Because I forgot to mention that the reason that he's in this town is not to be the gunslinger of said town. He is there to count things. It's the most ridiculous job ever. And he wants to discuss the number of horses at the bottom of the drop. Really? I don't think that's really what he wants to discuss. I think what he really wants to discuss, and then, right as I'm mid-thought in that, he says, you know, I love you. No! And she says, yes, I know you love me and I like you too, but we can't be together because I'm betrothed to be with this guy and he's supposed to give my family a lot of money and I just don't think it's going to work. And they kiss and it's annoying and she says, no, we can't kiss anymore. We have to be apart. Oh, I just died a little inside. Much like Roland did, because he really, really, really wants to be with her. Story goes on. The two go their separate ways. Roland and his crew actually get down to business of counting things. Because the whole reason that he had her come to the drop was because he was noticing that there were way too many horses down there. Way more than there should be. That's building some kind of mystery in the whole counting game. And I'm just like, I'm kind of done with his backstory now. I really want them to go back to finding the tower. But he's talking with his men, and his guys find a blonde hair from Susan on his clothes. And they're like, oh no, our guy has fallen for someone with golden blonde hair. The only one that we know of is betrothed to I believe it was the sheriff's son. Oh dear. After Susan and him have decided not to see each other, I believe it's like 2 or 3 days, the men notice that they haven't seen a blonde hair in a while, so they're not really that worried. And Roland says, we have to go somewhere. We have to count something that the sheriff mentioned, known as the thinny. Remember the thinny? Apparently there's a thinny when Roland was young, and they go to this area. It's emitting the sound, and it's affecting them, much the same way that it was affecting Roland, Jake, and Eddie, and Susanna, and Oi. The traveling times, I guess. One of his guys almost commits suicide, but he stops him. And the other guy says, I want to get the hell out of here. And Roland says, agreed. And at the end of our section, Roland gets a note from a carrier pigeon, and he says, I get to meet her again. And he smiles, and it's romantic and sweet and blah. I understand what's going on here, though. I understand that Stephen King is setting up a beautiful romance just to destroy it and describe why Roland is the hard, bitter man that he is now. So I'm just really looking forward to the point when Susan dies, just so that we can move on from this point. because he's already established Roland as just a hard ass. You don't really need to beat it over our heads. In the next video, we will be finishing the story of Susan. If you would like to be notified of that as soon as it comes out, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell thingy right next to it. If you have any thoughts on what is going on so far, if I missed anything that you think is super important, go ahead and write it in the comments for everyone else to read. Give it a like if you actually liked what I'm doing. I've been Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your jam radius, and I will see you all in the next section of Wizard and Glass by Stephen King.